meeting with the drummer from the Australian band Rockin Bolts. It's Dean Whedon. Pleased to meet you, Dean. How are you?
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Very welcome. I don't often interview the drummers. So how have you put yourself forward for this?
Well, I'm the founding member of the band, so
Right.
so I like to be in the backbone of the band, as it were.
As drummers are, yes. Why not? It's not that I don't interview them. I don't refuse to interview drummers by any means. It's normally if I interview one member of the band, it tends to be the singer or the lead guitarist. So it's nice for a change to have a drummer to interview. Would you like to tell us where you're based in Australia and how your band formed?
Well, we're based in Melbourne, and the band started back in 2014. Lineup changes galore, like no tomorrow.
But you're still here, so that's the main thing.
We're all still here, thank God. 3 years ago, the members that I had back then, they left, so I was on my own, and then I put an ad out and said, looking for some guys to play in an Aussie pub rock and roll band. And Tyler, who's the lead guitarist, he hit me up first, and then he came in, and then he played so great. And then the next day, Hayden, who was the singer in the band, he was a bassist back then, not a singer. So he actually tried to come in for a bass role, and then he done great. And then some other people came in, but they didn't really, that didn't last very long. And then looking for a guitarist, and then Dylan came in, and then as soon as Dylan came in, a light bulb went off. The singer left, so there's still some lineup changes going on, and Hayden put himself forward as to, what about if I try out for a singer? And so we put him forward, and it just went like that.
And funny enough, now I come to think of it, some of my favourite bands have got frontmen that are vocalists and bassists. They do a bit of both, and it works, and it's great. So I'm pleased it's all worked out for you. Now I've got a lot of quotes from your band, which I've got to read out because they're absolutely brilliant. So this is describing you in a nutshell. And I apologise if I slip up on some of these words. Okay, it's a bit of a tongue twister, should I say?
Okay.
We are fun and nothing but beer drinking, guitar blazing, hell raising, pub rocking, high energy, pure rock and roll band formed in Melbourne, Australia. We're here to bring Aussie pub rock and roll back to the world.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's you in a nutshell. So your quest is to bring dirt and rawness back to the genre. So how do you see the genre at the moment? Is it lacking in something?
In Australia, I think there's not much rock and roll going on. Because I live here, I'm seeing it. Even on social media, I'm seeing it. In Europe, it's doing well, but Australia's sort of lacking that little bit. There's a lot of metal bands coming in and punk and all that. Pretty much the 90s kind of thing going on. So there's not much rock bands. So I need to bring that funness back to rock and roll, how it used to be in the 70s with ACDC, the Angels, Rose Tattoo, that sort of stuff. Really, the only band that's really doing well actually in Australia is Airborne. That's the only band I can think of that's bringing it back. So we don't want just them doing it. I want to do the same thing. So if it's us and Airborne doing it, I'm happy with that.
I mean, there is some really good rock coming out of Australia at the moment, and I'm often hearing about Australian bands that are just producing brilliant music. So I think word is spreading that Australia has definitely got something new to offer the world of rock. Although it has to be said, your influences are very much based in classic rock, and you mentioned the 70s, and can't help but noticing you're wearing an ACDC t-shirt, which you've mentioned as well. So tell us about the whole ACDC being an influence. Is that a key influence for you and the whole of the band?
For me, it's a key influence. Early age, I got brought in, into listening to ACDC stuff. So Even the Beatles as well. You know, they're a big influence, not just ACDC. For myself in drumming, because I love Phil Rudd, you know, I sort of get my style like his. But for me, that's probably the main influence, ACDC. But as a whole band, it's not. Tyler, who's a guitarist, he's very much a Guns N' Roses guy. So, you know, and Hayden, he loves Metallica, and Dylan loves Iron Maiden. So we've all got something different. It's not the same thing, but when you listen to our music, it sort of connects to that Aussie rock sound. So it makes it unique too.
How does Aussie rock then, traditional Aussie rock as you describe it, differ from any other kind of rock in its sound and style?
It's just a 4/4 beat all the way. You know, the Aussie rock is just 3 chords and that's it. That's pretty much all you got. You just got to have a catchy hook and a good chorus, and then that's pretty much it. You know,
you make it sound so easy.
Yeah, make it sound so easy, but when you try it, it's not as hard
so
as.
easy.
You know, yeah, you know, it's hard, but you know, there's so many rock songs out there that took you know months to record. So now we're just doing something a little bit different, but the same. If you get what I mean.
That's the thing. I mean, with such classic influences, how do you produce something new and fresh and vibrant, and how do you stand out?
Good question, but you know, I think that comes down to the individuals in the band. You know, we all come with something different. You know, definitely, I think Hayden, because he's into that Metallica sort of sound. So you know, Metallica is very different to ACDC or the Angels or something like that. So I think that brings something unique. Even dealing with Iron Maiden, like Iron Maiden is different to Metallica. So you know, everyone comes in with their different sort of thing. You know, it could be the riff. You know, the riff, like if you hear Ball Breaker, that's on the EP. That's really much like a metal song, but it's just, you know, it actually was a metal song. Actually, funny enough, when Hayden wrote it, but he, you know, wanted to have that Aussie rock going through it. So, but yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
So you mentioned your EP. So this was your self-titled EP from last year. Was it 2019? Yeah, and again, I've got a lovely description of this, which I don't know where it came from, but it's very nice. It's Rocking Bolts, name of the EP, is an EP harking back to the glory days of Australian rock when men were unafraid to bare their teeth and women were unafraid to put them back in their place. Who wrote that?
I have no idea, but I'm going to shake your hand for that.
Well, I think that's very nice indeed. Now, so you've got your EP. You are due to release an album, and that's been put back due to the whole COVID situation, but I understand you're releasing several singles before the album. So tell us how many singles you've released so far from the new album, and when the album is now due to be launched.
Well, we actually haven't recorded the album yet, but we are going to put 3 singles. We are going to put 3 singles out. That's a given. There might be some video clips coming too. There might be a lyric video. You know, just putting it out a little bit. And there's really not much to tell, but we're going to record in 4 days. So there's 12 tracks in 4 days. So, you know, I don't know who's done an album in 4 days, but if we're the first band to do it, there you go. There's a benchmark for you.
Well, how many tracks are on the album?
12.
Wow. Okay, and do you have a name for it?
Maybe. Maybe.
And it's maybe going to be called.
We don't want to give too much away, because things can change like.
You'd be surprised how often I hear that.
Yeah, things could change. Things could change, but I think everyone will like the album. You know, it's going to bring Aussie pub rock back, and you know that this is the album for it.
So when you're looking at releasing it now, I mean, if it's not recorded yet, it's not going to be this year. We're looking at next year?
Probably mid next year, I think, the way it's going. By then, hopefully, COVID is gone and we've got a vaccine and coming,
Yes.
and you can get the audience back, because it's a bit funny playing a gig and you've got people sitting there. Like
Yes. Yeah.
it's
That
just a
must
bit
be.
funny. I know I've been following Thunder Mother a little bit, and they've
Oh
been
yeah.
doing that. Like it's weird, but it's they're still playing, which is cool. So, but we like to have that everyone plays together sort of thing going on. So
Yeah, I mean, socially distanced pub rock just doesn't work in the same
doesn't
sense,
work.
does it? No, it's just not
It's
what you
never
would
worked.
expect. So, yeah, you want sweat and blood and, well, maybe not blood, spit and
Depends how
sweat
much blood.
again. So, talking of touring, which we haven't discussed yet, I would imagine you're planning on touring once the album is released. Will you be coming to the UK at all?
Oh, fingers crossed if we can get some, some names out there that can help us out. I know Brad Marr does Wrecking Crew touring, so and I chat to him, once a week or twice a week. So things could happen, but with
Yeah, because I know
COVID,
they're planning on coming
who
over
knows?
next year. So maybe
You never know.
tag along,
You never know.
hide in the luggage. They won't know. They'll hear this drumming from inside the suitcase and wonder that's going on. And it'll be you in there. Speaking of drumming, if you got your little drumsticks there, why don't you play us something?
It's actually having a rest at the moment. I've put new skins on it and everything, so it's just having a little quiet time at the moment.
I'm hoping to be able to check out your album as soon as it's available. And I would urge people to check you out as a band, Rocking Volts. You've already got music out there, so go and have a listen, guys. And it's been lovely talking to you. So one last question. It's 9 a.m. where you are. It's 10 p.m. where I am. What happens in the future? I find this so strange. You are so far ahead of me. You're in another day.
Yeah, well.
What's it like? What's Sunday like?
Sleeping. Pretty much. And no, just resting, and I'm always working on new music anyway, so doesn't matter if it's a Sunday, Monday, Friday. I know I'm still working on the music. So but no, Sunday's pretty much a rest day for the whole band.
Okay. Well, enjoy your rest, and it looks nice and sunny there. So
yeah,
enjoy the weather.
Sort of. I think we're going to have rain today, so.
Oh, you had rain, did you? You should try living in Manchester for a while. Yeah, I can't remember last time I said we didn't have rain, so it was a good while ago. But, apparently tomorrow it's going to be dry, so we're looking forward to it.
Fingers crossed.
You enjoy your rest. Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed. And it's great catching up with you, and I do hope to see you over in the UK next year, all being well.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, Dean. Love to all.
Bye.